Okay, so it may not come to a surprise to anybody, but we picked up another Model 3 in white like all the other ones. But this time we're doing it a little differently. We went with the cheapest Model 3 we can get. So in our last video, we talked about our performance Model 3, which we dropped off with Unplugged Performance for a special project. So I need a car for the next couple months. So I didn't want to go out and buy a performance Model 3 again since it's just for a few months. So went with this. And we kind of want to put it through its paces and its tests. So this is a rear-wheel drive car rather than all-wheel drive like all the others. And it does have a range of 240 miles. So a little bit less range than I'm used to, but I think it'll be a lot of fun, like playing around with in the winter, testing out the rear-wheel drive capabilities, testing out the range. We're gonna be doing a lot of like DIY projects to this car so that you guys can kind of learn how to do stuff yourself. So the one option that I did kind of spring for is the white interior. As you know, we've done several videos on it. I think it's far superior to the black. I just like the look of it. And I have zero problems with any kind of stain transfer or any kind of cleaning. It cleans up super easily. So I did spring for that. I did not get full self-driving capabilities since I'm not keeping the car super long time. It just didn't make sense. We went with just the standard aero rims and the free white exterior paint, which actually on all of our other cars was not free, but that is now the free paint option if you decide to go that route. Okay, so here in the trunk you can see we got like the front license plate bracket, not gonna happen. We got the charger, which I'll let David explain in just a second. And like here's the build sheet. You can see everything right there. I actually paid $41,190. Okay, so David's gonna go ahead and explain what all you get when you buy a brand new Tesla.
Yeah, so you have the UMC, which lets you plug it into an outlet at home. They no longer include the 1450 adapter, they just have a 515, but this will plug into any like standard outlet at home. And then they have a J1772 adapter, which lets you use public chargers. If you do need something besides this, you don't want to charge because it's only going to get you like 4 or 5 miles an hour at home, then you can get a different adapter which will plug in here, and then you can get up to like 45 miles or this is a 32 amp car actually, since this is the standard range plus, so it's not going to be that fast, so it can charge it up to 32 amps. Many people consider putting in that high power wall connector at home, which is hardwired. Usually you have an installation done by an electrician. It's still going to be limited on the standard range plus though to just 32 amps because that's the maximum for this car's chargers.
Yeah, but like I don't even think I've ever used my UMC for my other Model 3, and most of the time I don't even use any of them. Okay, so we just got in it. We are getting ready to leave. We actually opted to not have a tour of the car because we've taken delivery of several of them, so I'm actually pretty good with them. But like, we do have like the piano black here in the center console. Definitely gonna get rid of that with some abstract ocean wrap. You actually have this little screen protector on here that I guess that comes from the factory that way so it doesn't get damaged. We'll go ahead and peel that off and then put the matte protector on that. The sound of those is always very satisfying. We'll probably get rid of the white dash with some dash wrap. We have a lot of cool things with this car. We'll probably be doing our own paint protection on this, our own ceramic coat. So those will be upcoming videos where you guys can kind of like DIY the projects, save yourself a little bit of money. It's kind of nice to do.
Now, one of the first things that we should do is to pair our phones with the car, so that
that's
we don't
totally right.
So we don't have to use a key card.
Totally right.
And that's something they would go through with you if you do the little orientation, but we didn't want to do the orientation because we can do it ourselves.
Yeah, so here, the easiest way to do this is you just go into here, you go into locks, and then we'll get into the phone app. And we're gonna do set phone as key, and then start it. So it's going to connect to the vehicle. Then we're gonna take our key card, put it on the center console right here. And then you're just gonna kind of leave it there for a second. It says finishing up. Here it is. And that is the notification that it was set up. Okay, so the one thing though is this firmware on this car right now is actually kind of old. It's 2019 15.107.
It's like 4 months behind. Yeah.
So I can't even link my phone to my profile here. So that's kind of a bummer. But now we'll go ahead and set David's up the same way. Hit start. The key is actually already sitting here, so it should just recognize it pretty much immediately. and just like that, it is done as well. So now we can do everything with the phone, use it as the key, unlock, lock when you come up. It's super easy. It's by far the only way I can see Tesla's going forward with this. I really want phone as key for Model S and X, Elon. If you're listening, pretty please, that might convince me to buy another Model X. So then the mic started acting a little funky, so I just figured I would re-record this for you real quick. I wanted to go over, though, the differences in what the Standard Range Plus doesn't have that the all-wheel drive and the performance with the premium interior does have. So the SR Plus actually has what's called a partial premium interior. The all-wheel drive and the performance have a premium interior. And so the first thing that is actually different is some of the seats. While we do still have the 12-way power adjustable seats, the only difference for the seats is actually going to be the rear. The rear seats are not heated, whereas the front ones still are, but in the full premium interior, the rear is heated as well. So there is that difference. The seats themselves, though, actually are the exact same from my other car, and I know that because I have my front seats sitting right over there, and they are the exact same. So for audio, it actually does say I have immersive audio, which is an option on here. However, I don't have the premium audio, which is 14 speakers, 1 subwoofer, 2 amps, and an immersive sound. And I do still have the center console with the 4 USB ports, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear, and all that kind of stuff. But what I don't have is premium connectivity, which kind of sucks actually so far. But it's going to be things like the satellite maps with the live traffic visualization, the in-car internet streaming for music and media, which on my last car I used the media all the time. So now I end up just having to use my phone because I don't really listen to the radio anymore. It does also say that the premium interior does include more frequent over-the-air updates and an internet browser, which I didn't really use the internet browser anyway, but it was kind of nice to have in case you wanted it. It also does say that I don't have LED fog lamps, and checking this right here, there is no fog lamp setting, so I'm going to assume that's true. All the Model 3s do still have the tinted glass roof and the heated side mirrors and stuff like that. But yeah, there are some changes, and there's some things that I've noticed that I was like, man, I kind of got used to those in my last Model 3. I'll kind of do probably like a 1 month in review video once I can kind of really play around with it. But in my last one, I always had the satellite maps open because I really just think they're better to look at in my opinion. And I had the streaming music, which I don't have anymore, which is really kind of a bummer because I use that a lot too. But when you think about it, the price jump from the SR Plus rear wheel drive to an all-wheel drive long range is $9,000. For me, I really didn't want to spend that extra $9,000 right now because this car is supposed to only last me through like January, February. After that, I'll get my Performance Model 3 back from the special projects. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up in the iCard. Check it out because there's some cool stuff that will be coming on that. But once I get the other car back, I'll probably just end up selling this because I really don't have a need for 2 Model 3s. Yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm at right now with the Standard Range Plus. To be honest, sitting right here, it feels just like my car. The cool things about this one though is I already have the Hardware 3 installed. So the FSD computer's already in here. However, I did not buy FSD since I wasn't planning on keeping the car. But that kind of brings me to some differences that I've noticed is on my last car, I bought the enhanced autopilot and the full self-driving. This car, I just bought the autopilot that comes with it. I did not spring for full self-driving because it's a $6,000 option. But I'm missing a few things compared to what used to be in enhanced autopilot package, but now is split and now in full self-driving, which is kind of a bummer. But like the navigate on autopilot, this car still does autopilot and everything, but doing the turn signal will not have the car change lanes for you. It just won't. You have to do that all manually. I know it sounds really stupid, but I just got used to being able to do the turn signal or have the car do it automatically. I don't have auto park, so parallel parking and perpendicular parking are only in the full self-driving package now. Summon is only in the full self-driving package now, which I don't have that. But all this used to be included in the enhanced autopilot, which was the cheaper version. You could buy full self-driving on top of that. So Tesla's definitely made some changes on that. It's kind of a bummer though. I really wish they hadn't, or at least for existing owners, because now it's different than what it once was. But it's okay, I could just spring for full self-driving, but if I'm only keeping this till February, there's really no reason to. But yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be the road trip home in the Standard Range Plus. Is it possible? Obviously, spoiler alert, I'm home, so it was possible. But I've always been kind of curious, and there have been a lot of people saying the Standard Range Pluses don't make good road trip cars, so we will put that to the test in the next video. As always though, huge thanks to our channel sponsor Abstract Ocean. If you guys are looking to accessorize your Model SX or Model 3, much like this one, definitely check them out, all linked down below. And using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off your first order. And my two must-haves are definitely going to be the center console wrap, because I'm not a big fan of that gloss black material, as well as a matte screen protector, which cuts down on glare and fingerprints. Makes cleaning the screen so much easier too. So definitely go ahead and check them out. As always though, thumbs up if you enjoyed that video. Go ahead and click here to subscribe here for some other ones. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. This is what we have to deal with.